Hey, Mrparka here to review one from Brain Damage Films, and this is Dead on Appraisal. And the title's pretty silly, obviously. Real estate is hell. It's a horror anthology, and we follow a realtor trying to sell this house that has these three horrible stories that had happened in it. The first story is kind of a bug invasion, a bug monster thing, and I must say that it's mostly practical effects, and they're amazingly fun and gory and gooey. The movie follows a party, and somebody's inside thinking, when everybody's partying in the room, dissecting this weird cocoon beehive thing that they think is a new species. Of course, they screw it up. Creature spits out, and these weird kind of spores, or not necessarily spores, but something starts growing inside of people, and it kind of turns into something like The Nest meets The Thing, and people are grouping into monsters, and giant monsters, or slimy, gooey, nasty stuff is going on here. Some bank robbers enter the picture or something. That part was kind of even almost too much for all that was going on already, but it was fine because that way we get to see a couple more gory deaths. The short is goofy, it's fun, it's awesome, it's gory, it's slimy, it has a lot of practical, cool monster effects. I couldn't really say anything bad about it really in the long run. I think it was really a lot of fun, and it took me by surprise, you know. I was thinking, oh, bugs. Now I'm so used to seeing these CGI crappy bugs pop out or whatnot, or a swarm of freaking CGI bees. I was going to be like, oh, this is going to be crap. And it wasn't. It was awesome. The special effects were there. There was goo, there was gore, there was stuff flying all around the place. It really did feel like an older movie, and I really loved it. Good puppet work, too. And I also got to get at this horror anthology. I've been watching a lot of horror anthologies lately, and they just stopped doing wraparound stories. Like, here's like 4 or 5 stories, enjoy. I mean, come on. I mean, it's really not a movie unless there's a wraparound story. It's just 3 shorts in there. I don't know. I did appreciate the wraparound story in here. The second story doesn't really fit the tone and mood of the movie. It is a good story, though. It's the serious one about a son who comes back from the war and he's all messed up. Think, you know, Cell Turcica, The Night Andy Came Home, or Army. It's been done a lot of times. It's a little bit different on here. I think the father does a really good job. I actually felt bad for the father. He did a good job in acting in here. And the twist at the end is pretty cool, pretty twisted stuff here. The most serious of the bunch, and the most, you know, trying to be a film less than an ultimate entertaining piece like the other two.
Hey, feeling better? Want something to eat?
I already ate.
Boeing B-12, just like the one my grandpa flew. I told you about him, right? Well, I was too young for Vietnam, and your grandpa was too young for Korea. But my grandpa, he flew one of these in World War II. They told the public it was a daytime strategic bomber, but in reality, it flew nights. Incendiary missions in the campaign on Japan. You knew all the guys that flew the Enola Gay. Used to fly with them all the time. You're from a rich family of military history, son. We all know what it's like. Sometimes you come back from the war, you just need somebody to talk to. And it can be somebody on the base if you're not comfortable with a regular doctor, but I really think it'd be a good idea.
The last one is Freddy and the Goblins, about a band member moving into the house. He's really self-destructive, and he basically, during an argument with his band members, he's drinking, and he starts to hallucinate or whatnot, or everyone starts turning into puppets. You're really not sure what's going on. Everyone's turning into these puppets, and everyone around is like, what are you talking about? You're insane. And these ridiculous puppets are hilarious. They're awesome. They're wisecracking. There's one like a unicorn with tentacle arms and all sorts of crazy things like that. And he ends up snapping. I'm just going to say that. And what happens is lots of fighting and gore and violence and insanity ensues. Lots of trippy, surreal, kind of like just you know, the surreal stuff here, just over the top cartoony style violence, and it's really fun. It's really awesome, and I couldn't say I enjoyed it a lot. There's some wrestling stuff in there. Shout out to Macho Man. You know, I thought the first and the third stories were so much fun, so many great moments of gore and silliness, and the fun kind of special effects that you really don't get to see that much. The second story, again, is good, but it doesn't fit the mold of the other two. All three are great, I think, in their own way, but the first and the last one I really love.
Need air. Let me just get a little air.
Stupid human. Always need air. I don't breathe shit.
Breathing's for queers and Al Gore.
You remember those ice cream that look like feet?
What?
I think I got a little on me.
Well, there's gonna be bitches at this goddamn poker game. There's some Korean kids mowing for some shit. Somebody get naked. What you gonna do, shit?
You can fuck with this? In my house?
You know how much this suit costs? Oh, money, goddammit! No! That is my fucking horn!
Freddy's gonna take the title!
Yeah, we got a couple of guys looking hard at that belt. A couple of hard guys. Guaranteed to be a goddamn small knock. Yeah, motherfucker!
What?
That thing's big for six.
Wanna get slapped? I'm broken. I'm rich.
The wraparound story is okay, but the ending pays up for it. I mean, there's some CGI practical effects, but there's a lot of splatter mixed into it, and it's just an outrageous ending. I'd check this one out. I think that people like that low-budget horror films and like even regular, you know, old-school horror films with a lot of special practical effects. I think that they will love this. Anyone that likes killer bug movies done right instead of the crappy CGI sci-fi original crapfest, then check this one out because I think people will love it. It has a lot of the elements of horror movies I've always loved, the cheesy guilty pleasures like killer bugs and rock and roll horror and stuff like that. I enjoy it. I would recommend this one. A lot of practical mixed with green screen effects and things like that, but I love that kind of stuff, you know. This is well worth your time, and I think it's one of the better horror films I've seen this year, to be honest. I really loved it. So check it out. That's Dead on Appraisal. Have a good one.